Clever TV, I'm Dana Ward, and we just chatted with the cast of Divergent. This is our official Comic-Con preview. All right, so you are the man of the hour. 4 is a major, major character in this movie. How stoked were you when you found out that you got the role?
I was very happy when I found out because it's such a great role. And what I honestly love about him, this is genuine, is that he is a very centered, masculine man without having to force anything. And as soon as I read even the pages for the sides, I knew that there was an affinity that I had with him.
Okay, so this was the first still that was released from this movie. Knife throwing scene, bring us there.
Oh, it was super fun. It was, I mean, it looks a lot more intense on this photograph than it was in real life. There was a beautiful little glass screen in front of me, protecting me from the knives that were being thrown at my face. But it was really fun.
Chemistry actually we were really lucky. We were, as soon as we met each other for the test, it was very natural, it came very naturally, and I think we actually, all the scenes with just really, really good natural chemistry, which was really fun to play and really satisfying as two actors, because, you know, when you have to force something, then it becomes, you know, it's gonna decrease its naturalism.
Now I know this is probably like your baby, so it's probably difficult for you to decide on one favorite scene, but based on what you've seen, what one scene are you most excited for fans to see?
I'm really excited for people to see the Ferris wheel scene because you have Theo and Shailene are very, very talented leads climbing that Ferris wheel, actually climbing it. So I was there that day to see some of the background stuff, so I'm really excited to see it on the screen, and I think it's an iconic scene for fans of the book too.
There's these great scenes with them climbing onto these moving trains and then hanging out of these moving trains and then jumping onto sort of a 7-story roof from an elevated train track, moving, you know, from a moving train. So it's kind of crazy and big.
You play Caleb, so I can talk to you about the choosing ceremony.
Yeah.
What is the significance behind this day? And what does it mean if someone hasn't read the book yet?
The choosing ceremony is a day when we're 16. We have the option to leave our faction that we're born into. And you give your blood to your faction, and that symbolizes your devotion to the faction system.
So in reading the book, I feel very, very bad for your character because of the whole knife situation with your face, but most importantly because you wind up factionless. What does that mean for anyone who hasn't read the book?
Well, the factionalists are basically in this society where everybody has been divided along certain beneficial personality characteristics. The factionalists are people who have been kicked out of those factions and who find themselves essentially homeless and with very little money, kind of scraping together a pretty awful existence.
I leave my faction. I leave my family behind and I join the Erudite.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's called defecting. And both me and my sister defect.
Yes.
She joins Dauntless, I join Erudite. It's a big deal. That's sort of what kicks off the story. The story starts and you notice maybe Beatrice might stay in a faction, you don't know.
Right.
The conflict starts right when Beatrice leaves and I leave our family behind.
So how would you break down the character?
Of Molly?
Yes.
Well, I think at the very face level, she's sort of the resident bad girl. You know, she's a little tough and physically definitely fits that Dauntless description. She's sort of an obstacle in Triss's way of getting sort of through that initiation into Dauntless.
Will is from Erudite, which is the faction of intelligence and knowledge and intellectual achievement. And he decides at the choosing ceremony, when everyone has to decide what their future will be, he chooses Dauntless. And everyone in the film chooses Dauntless, and we follow their journey. And he becomes very good friends with Triss, Shailene's character, and Zoe, Zoe's character, Christina, and without ruining anything, you know, they go on a journey together and they become very close.
Christina is a badass chick, man. She comes from Candor, faction of Candor, which is all about honesty, and she comes and goes to Dauntless. So she's really, really honest, kind of doesn't have a filter, says whatever she wants, really, really confident. So yeah, she's definitely like, for Triss, you know, she's a little bit more open, and Triss is kind of like slowly finding her way in this world, and I think they really work well together because they balance each other out.
Tori is one of the only characters in the film that's really styled. You know, she's Dauntless, and she's been Dauntless for a minute.
Yeah.
So she knows who she is. She is like a woman, and she is like in it. So she's got dreads and piercings and tattoos, and that is who she is.
Al's very quiet, very shy, keeps to himself. But I think, you know, he's a searcher. I think Triss kind of helps him overcome a lot of things, and he doesn't really make it to who he could become, but it was a fun experience.
Well, Max is, at least in this first one, is very very mysterious in a way. You don't see a lot of emotion out of him. And he's a taskmaster. You know, he's the leader of the Dauntless, so it's not like he doesn't really congregate with subordinates or anything like that. So he's like a little international man of mystery in a way. You don't know what makes him tick. You don't know what motivates him yet, and so I like that about him.
So why is your character Peter such an a-hole?
Oh my God.
No, he
Jeez.
stands out
Have you
from
even
the
read the
rest.
book, or you just
Yes.
listen to what people are telling you
No,
about
I
him?
actually have. I've
Oh,
read
have
them both.
you?
But that's your
Yeah.
first impression before you get too far in.
Yeah, well, I think you don't, judge a book by its cover, and
like
that
that.
sometimes people are deeper than maybe what you perceive. Maybe Peter goes home and cries about the things that he does,
He might.
and maybe he's actually a puppy dog.
It's true.
He's not.
Since you are the author, I'd love one word describing each of the 5 factions.
Okay, erudite, smart. Dauntless is brave. Amity is peaceful. Abnegation, selfless. And the last one is candor, honest.
And now you can check out the full Divergent photo gallery. Just click the link below. Bye, guys.